Hi, I'm Elon Vidal, and I would like to share with you an excerpt of my book, Eclipse. It's book one in the Dawnbringer series, and it's available for free right now on Amazon. So go get your copy. Um, I'll just share with you a short excerpt, so you get a bit of a flavor of what it is. Plant magic had always been one of her favorite classes because she felt a sort of kinship with trees and plants. She supposed it came from the Fae side of her DNA, giving her a natural drive to protect and nurture any type of flora. Still, she enjoyed studying plants within the comfort of an actual building. So, how are you feeling about next week? Elijah asked as he made two plates appear with a slight wiggle of his fingers. They were not supposed to use magic on this trip, only use the things that nature provided them. Dawn could almost hear Mrs. Jefferson's nasal voice ringing in her ear as she repeated, True warriors know how to use all the tools that nature provides, not just magic. Their teacher was not here, though, and what she didn't know wouldn't cause any harm. Elijah handed down a plate, and she wrinkled her nose at the meat. They've actually cooked snake. Well, Elijah has, actually. It smelled really good, but just the thought of what the slimy reptile had looked like before had her hesitating. About that, I'm not going to try out for first guard. Silence of about 30 seconds ensued, and Dawn chanced to look at her friend who was now clenching his jaw. Anger was not a good look on him, contrasting his angelic features. With his long, white hair and babyish face, one would never think that he was a deadly warrior. What do you mean you're not going to try first guard? Dawn debated whether to just fill her mouth so she wouldn't have to answer or avoid eating the snake and face the music. The latter was easier to stomach than the roasted reptile, so she looked at Elijah. His blue eyes were focused on her as if he were reciting a spell, and she could only pray to whatever God was listening that he didn't set anything on fire as he tended to when his emotions got the better of him. It means that there is a selection for first guard next week, and I'm not going to be a part of it, she said with the most innocent smile she could muster. But the selection is by invitation only. No one turns that down, he argued, as if that made any type of sense. She supposed it made perfect sense in his world. Every young trainee grew up dreaming of getting that special invitation, after all. Maybe she had too once upon a time when she felt like she had something to prove. She just felt differently now. Then I'll be the first. Making history suits me rather well, don't you think? Stop playing around, Don. What's going on? You're top of your weapons class, and your potions are getting better. So what's wrong? Dawn almost winced at the last part. Her potions were actually not getting better. And the only thing that she had mastered was how to change her hair color, but not anything useful. She could easily identify plants to use for potions, but it was the spells she was bad at. I was asked to submit a final video for the Ecological Systems Apprenticeship, and the interview is on the same day as the tryouts. Why can't you do both? Magic is a part of you. Why do you just want to give that up? And don't start with that halfling nonsense. You're a great warrior and you know it. Roasted reptile it was then. Dawn stuffed her face to keep from being part of the conversation. It was really good, and it was something she could see herself eating the next time she was stuck in the woods, which would be never. Her friend glared at her for a second before standing up and grabbing their weapons. Elijah threw a sparring stick at Dawn, and she caught it easily. She looked at him with confusion, wondering what was going on in his head. What are you doing? Showing you that you're not cut out for lab coat and flower petals. Dawn laughed. Gee, you just described botanical science to a T. They should put that on the brochure. Then prove me wrong, Elijah challenged, extending his stick and tapping at hers. I don't see how fighting you will prove anything, or if there's anything to prove. I'm going to decline the invitation and go for my interview and the story. If I win, you get to do both. Dawn laughed and shook her head. I'm sorry? I think there's a broken connection somewhere. Because I heard as if you just suggested that we fight for my future. Yeah, so come on. Weren't you the one who just mentioned how I'm top of my weapons class? That was before you mentioned that you were leaving that behind. Now stand your ground. And it continues. So yeah, it's a fun adventure. Dawn gives the name to the series, Dawnbringer, and there's a whole cool, very cool story arc. I hope Dawnbringer is book 1 is out. Eclipse is out. It's a short read and it's for free. And there's a link in my profile, or my bio rather. And if you like it, book 2 is on pre-order. It's called The East Gate. And it will be released on December 28th, this December 28th. So it's already on pre-order. Go ahead and grab your copy of Eclipse and enjoy Dawn's adventure. Have a good one.